Welcome to another video of Tina TVPH. By now, you might have an idea on what are introverts. Contrary to popular belief, introverts do not hate people. They do not mind social interaction, but unlike the extroverts, they prefer not to be the center of attention, since they often find social engagements exhausting. That is why introverts are usually labeled as loners. But aside from the usual loner stereotypes, what are other things that differentiate the introverts from the extrovert? Today we are going to discuss the things that only introverts can relate to. This could also help if you are unsure of whether you are introvert or an extrovert. Just a quick reminder to please support our channel by clicking like and hitting the subscribe button below. Let's start. Number 1. Introverts feel lonelier at social events than when they are alone. Introverts could be standing in a room full of people, but they still feel isolated and out of place. As an introvert, you might be feeling anxious before the social event even starts, thinking about all these awkward interactions you are about to handle. It's possible that not all social settings affect introverts the same way. But with new people, large crowds, or in noisy environments, they probably get wiped out fast. Stay out too long, and they may even crash, aka the introvert hangover. Introverts would prefer and enjoy reading, gardening, crafting, writing, gaming, watching movies, or doing any other activity that's performed alone. Number 2. Introverts have conversations in their heads. Introverts have a distinct inner voice that's always running in the back of their minds. They have constantly running inner monologue, because introverts need to think first and talk later. They have very active minds, and they tend to analyze conversations they have had with other people in their heads again and again, even after days. Sometimes, they can't sleep at night because their mind is still going. Number 3. Introverts can be chatty around some, but extremely quiet with others. One common misconception about introverts is that they don't like people. While introverts typically do not enjoy a great deal of socializing, they do enjoy having a small group of friends to whom they are particularly close. Instead of having a large social circle of people they know only on a superficial level, introverts prefer to stick to deep, long-lasting relationships marked by a great deal of closeness and intimacy. High-quality relationships are a key to happiness for introverts, according to one study. Number 4. Introverts find small talk incredibly cumbersome. Introverts are notoriously small talk phobic, as they find idle chatter to be a source of anxiety, or at least annoyance. They can't discuss trivial stuff like weather, latest fashion or trends and things like that. They like to have meaningful and more in-depth conversations with people. Introverts often avoid small talk because they consider it to be inauthentic. Introverts hate small talks because it leaves zero room for meaningful interaction. Small talks shun any vulnerability, any honesty, and any chance of creating emotional intimacy, where people don't learn anything new about each other, and as a result, the relationship doesn't grow in a satisfying way. Number 5. Introverts don't like to be the center of attention. At school, they are most likely to be the last to raise their hand when the teacher asked a question, or needed someone to volunteer. Similarly, at work, they'd rather email their ideas to their boss, rather than explain them to a room full of people. That is not to say that introverts know less than others, they just don't feel a particular need to be in that limelight. The exception is when they feel passionate about something, and if they think speaking up will truly make a difference. Until then, they are more than willing for others to hog the attention, all the while silently working on how to improve their own tasks. Number 6. Introverts are better at writing their thoughts than speaking them. Introverts are often better at communicating in writing than in person, and many are drawn to the solitary, creative profession of writing. They have trouble in speaking their thoughts out loud. On the contrary, they can express themselves very well in writing. They prefer to think through their response because their communication style is focused and considerate. They can carry on conversations, but if decisions are necessary, they may want more time to consider and weigh their options so they feel confident in the choice. Famous author John Green once said, "Writing is something you do alone." It's a profession for introverts who want to tell you a story, but don't want to make eye contact while doing it. Number 7. Introverts notice details that others miss. Research has found that introverts exhibit increased brain activity when processing visual information, as compared to extroverts. Introverts observe and take in a lot of information, and they think before they speak, leading them to appear wise to others. Because they are deeply introspective, introverts might be able to come up with a potential solution to a problem that may have been overlooked. They may not speak up about it, but doesn't mean that they aren't thinking about it. Number 8. Introverts do their best work alone. Introverts rarely work well in crowded environments. The more secluded they are, the more likely they are to focus deeply and produce great work. They may feel more creative, focused, or productive, or you may simply be able to do more in a shorter time. It doesn't mean they can't work on teams, but they like to retreat somewhere quiet once the collaborating is done. In an open office, noise-cancelling headphones are their friend. Number 9. Introverts aren't necessarily shy. Shyness and introversion get lumped together because many of the traits between the two overlap. Sometimes an introvert isn't afraid to meet other people, but they just prefer to do it in their own way. In fact, extroverts can be shy. A well-known Stanford researcher points out that many public figures are both extroverted and shy. Number 10. Introverts are good listeners. Introverts listen before they speak. They watch from the sidelines and take some mental notes before they insert themselves into any social situation. This preparation allows them to enter a conversation confidently, without stumbling over their words or doubting the accuracy of what they say. The ability of introverts to connect with other people on a deeper level makes them excellent leaders. As they are great listeners, they listen to every person's point of view and make others feel included, which is an excellent leadership quality. They don't mind giving the stage to someone else for a bit, and rather be in the background and listen. These are just some of the things that are applicable to most introverts. If you find yourself relating to these characteristics, you are most likely an introvert. Of course, defining yourself as an introvert does not necessarily exclude you from some characteristics that are usually found in extroverts, and vice versa. The introvert and extrovert personalities are not necessarily two separate boxes, but are rather ends of a spectrum with different gradients in between, all part of what makes humans complex and unique from each other. Hopefully, this video was able to help you understand yourself as an introvert, or if you are more of an extrovert, shed some light on how introverts are, and help foster understanding towards them. Thanks for watching the video, and see you in the next one.